Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to our special board meeting. Today is Wednesday, June 26, 2024. If everyone could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Please note that Trustee Maribel, Trustee Mitchell, and VP Kelly will participate via video conference for this evening's special meeting. Trustee Maribel?
Present.
Trustee Mitchell?
Present.
Trustee Middleton?
Present.
Trustee Njenga?
Here.
Trustee Gale?
Here.
Trustee White?
Present.
Trustee Saunders?
Present.
VP Kelly? And President Kerwin.
Present.
Okay, we have a quorum. First order of business is 2.1. Can I have a motion, authorization to reject all bid proposals received for summer transportation services?
Motion. Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries.
I think Trustee Moore abstained.
Trustee Mitchell, did you abstain?
No, I said aye.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a motion for 2.2, extension of summer transportation contract with All County Bus Company?
Motion.
Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose?
Aye.
Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 2.3, authorization to enter into an emergency contract with First Mile Square for summer 2024 field trips?
Motion.
Motion. Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions?
Question, are they charging us the same that they did for the winter, for the school season? Or
No.
we're paying? Who I'm talking to?
Jose, did you want to take that?
I asked, are they paying us, are we pay, for the summer, or are they charging us the same amount as they did for the school year?
Yeah, so both First Student and All County are at CPI.
Could you go to the mic, please?
Is that actually, I don't know that. So, yes, the bus companies both decided, First Student and All County, to renew at CPI they're going at, which is 3.9%.
Oh, okay,
So one is an emergency contract and the other one, they're just extending.
thank you.
You're welcome.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose?
She's there. She has
Abstain?
No, she has no video.
Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 3.1, appointment of the district-wide safety team for the 2024-2025 school year?
Motion, second.
Questions, concerns, discussions?
Question. Just to confirm, none of these roles are all internal. None of them come with a dollar amount, a salary, or anything like that.
But
This
she
is
has no video.
basically my
That's her-
understanding. This is
that's
kind of
her
like any
device.
corporation that has, say, a fire safety team where you have a warden and you have a searcher and things like that. This is just something that has to be in place in writing as mandated, correct? There's no dollars, there's no salaries, there's no roles that are being paid, correct?
Correct. There's no money involved. This is per New York State regulation that the district must do these, and these are the people who are part of the district-wide safety team. No money, no nothing. They get training because there are rules that has to be followed in compliance that must be met.
Thank you.
So they have certification for this role? How does it work?
So the way it works is everyone who's on the district team
There's no video.
go through the SAFE training to NICED, where we also learn how Mr. Gomandi specifically had gone to the national training in Albany, where we go to make sure we are meeting building compliance, to understand how do we read the district plan, to understand the new laws and the new codes that are in place, and the district accountability and how the district is supposed to put it in.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain? Motion carries. Can I, it's trustee Mitchell, Maribel, and Kelly. That's it. And Sabina. Can I have a motion for 3.2, appointment of District Chief Emergency Officer?
Motion.
Second. Questions, concerns, discussions?
Question. So with what we just said, to the prior to it, is that basically saying that there's no salary or anything involved that's not attached to anything that we should see, or
So
salaries or?
the title is actually one that is used statewide, corporation, it's not just school. So the chief emergency officer for the district is the person, since Mr. Gomandi is in charge of buildings and grounds and all the custodian, he's in all the building, that is the person that's going to manage EMT, coordinate with the police, tell them who's the person in charge in the building. So we use one person that will be in charge of managing any emergency that happen. So it is a NICED title. It's a New York State title that is used. There's no money involved. And even in corporation, for emergency plan, if we have a building that have more than 30 people, you must have a chief emergency officer. Basically, that's the go-to person for local emergency EMT, local emergency unit, that one person that they will get information that will say, oh, something is happening at Parker. When you get there, go see the Principal Green. She has the plan. That's what that person is. So they're not getting multiple messages from multiple people.
Question.
Yes.
So this is something that we vote on every single year, correct?
Yes. So unfortunately, the last time we actually complied with the law was in 2006. So the purpose in doing the training is to also ensure we are compliant. And as I read the district plan, you're going to see the first thing it says is in July of each year, the Board of Education shall appoint a chief emergency officer for the district. This is state law. We are supposed to do this, and we have not been compliant in many, many years.
And my question is, are they going to sanction us? Or is there any kind of sanctions that the state would impose upon us because we have not done that?
So when I do the plan, when we submitted last year, I had to write an explanation. There's a narrative that goes with it. I will also explain the narrative. This is a new administration. One of the biggest goals of this administration is to ensure we are New York State Board of Education compliant. So what I've done, Dr. Smith had sent me a calendar last year of all due dates. So I've been following those due dates to the letter. Also, I go to the CIO meetings where they mention those things that has to be compliant. I go to the safe school meeting to make sure we are compliant. And I compare as a small city school district, what our plan should have with the other 51 small school district. So whatever that's missing, there's a checklist. Mr. Mungawandi and I sat for several hours. We went line by line and we checked. Wherever we're missing something, we ensure for this current plan, we have it.
And when did we discover that we were not in compliance for so many years?
So when I went to the Safe School training, and at the training, they provided us with the checklist, how to ensure that your district-wide plan is meeting New York State regulation. So as we went through this checklist, Mr. Omani would read the title. I would say, okay, it's on page 2, and he would actually asterisk where it was missing. So we did this last month.
No, I wanted to know what was the genesis of us realizing that we had been out of compliance since 2006. What sparked that?
So what I did is I went through the board docs to see where disappointment was done. And I didn't see a name. There has not been a name on board docs since 2006.
And I guess, again, my question is, what sparked you to go to board docs to inquire?
So whenever I'm looking for anything for the district, it could be a policy, it could be a rule, I go directly to board doc because that is the operating manual for the school district.
So that's 18 years out of compliance. 18 years worth of facilities, buildings and grounds, superintendent, all of that. 18 years worth of out of compliance.
So keep in mind also, we've had various people in the role. It's been a lot of turnover, and it's easy for these things to slip. So one of the first things, when Dr. Smith said that this would be part of one of my role, she ensured that I had a calendar. And one of the things I've done is literally take the calendar and make sure this is the things that are due, and these are the things that has to be included. So I basically created a process and a procedure to make sure that we don't miss this. And I also am creating a manual, so if I'm not here, whoever picks it up next also has the manual to make sure it continues.
And where is that document housed?
So currently, it's in OneDrive under PPS, which is where we put all our documents.
Have trustees been shared that link to that OneDrive?
No.
So we make a formal request that whatever's in there is available to trustee eyes only. Not just having confidentiality.
So is it on board docs? If it's on board
No,
docs?
it is not a public document. This is the internal manuals that we use for processes and procedures.
So can you just send the link to all the trustees and
I didn't
so we
ask
can
for
move
it for
on?
public consumption. I asked for it for trustee availability, but you can move on. I'll follow up later.
What he said? Okay.
Any more questions?
I was just going to say, the list that I gave to Dr. Gabaton was for this current school year. We have to get a new list for next year.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Can I have a motion for 3.3 to approve the reading of the draft of the 2024-2025 district-wide safety plan for public comment?
Motion. Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. Dr. Gabaton?
In accordance with Chapter 181 of the New York State 2000, commonly referred to as the Project Safe School Against Violence in Education Act, the following is the Mount Vernon City School District-wide School Safety Plan. In conjunction with the individual school building safety plan and the protocol included in the building level plan, this formed the framework for the Mount Vernon City School District Safety Plan. The City of Mount Vernon Board of Education shall annually appoint a district-wide safety team. The team shall include, but is not limited to, representative of the school board, student or student representative, teachers, administrators, and parent organization, security and safety personnel, and other school personnel. It shall be responsible for annually reviewing the safety plan and recommend any changes to the Board of Education. The Board of Education shall make the safety plan available to the public at least 30 days prior to its annual adoption and provide at least one public hearing during that period that allow participation of school personnel, parent, and other interest parties. The plan shall be filed with the New York State Department of Education within 30 days of adoption. In July of each year, the Board of Education shall appoint a chief emergency officer for the district. In September of each year, the Board of Education shall appoint member of the district safety team. The list of current members of the safety team is appended to this plan, and it's considered part of the plan. Okay. The building level safety plan. Each building shall develop a building level safety plan that incorporate building campus-specific protocol and shall teach students and staff to respond to emergencies and disasters. Staff and students will be familiar with aspects of the safety plan so each individual know what to do and how to proceed in an emergency. Safety plan shall identify potential local site of emergency, including but not limited to buildings, grounds, buses, worksite, and shall provide annual review of procedure for the protection and safe evacuation of students, staff, and visitors. Internal and external emergency communication system. Definition of the chain of command for emergencies consisting with federal, state, and or local guidelines. Procedures for review in the conduct of drills, other exercise to test the elements of the emergency response plan. Procedures for securing and restricting access to the crime scene of violent crimes. Okay. So these are the evacuation procedures. Evacuation may require exiting the building, away from the building until danger had passed. In some situations, it may be necessary to evacuate students to an alternative site of campus. Each building level plan shall identify alternative evacuation site. The general evacuation plan will follow the protocol set at each building for the fire drill. The specific evacuation plan will depend on the exact nature of threat and will be found in the building level safety plan. Lockdown, lockout. These procedures shall be used when being secure, lockdown. Inside the building is safer than being outside. The specific of a lockdown and lockout procedure will be found in the building level emergency plan and will depend on the exact nature of the incident. 8 times annually, each school shall perform a lockdown or lockout drill with teachers and students. At the principal's discretion, the drill may utilize the services of local first responders and other emergency management and security personnel. Sheltering. These procedures shall be used when an emergency requires students, staff, and others to shelter safely inside the building or short or extended period of time. The specific of sheltering procedures will be found in the building level emergency plan and will depend on the exact nature of the incident. At least twice annually, each school shall perform a sheltering drill with teachers and students. At the principal's discretion, this drill may utilize the services of first responders and other emergency personnel. Okay. Contacting the police. Local first responders are an integral part of the district's ability to manage crisis situation. The superintendent or his or her designee shall meet at least annually with respective police, fire executive officials, or their designee to review current policies and procedures, make recommendation for change, if any, and plan for building level training for both law enforcement and school site. Jurisdiction public safety personnel will be contacted if the opinion of the building principal, the superintendent, or his or her designee, such outside assistance is necessary. In the event of ongoing violence incident that threatens the safety and security of staff and student, the principal will contact the police for assistance and notify the superintendent as soon as practical. Other than immediate crisis action with regard to contacting law enforcement agency will depend on the nature of the crisis and include in the building level plan. Building security. Building level response team. The building level response team is appointed by the school building principal. The major focus of this team is to create, monitor, update the building level emergency response plan. This team at minimum will include the following representation: teachers, administrators, parent organization, school safety personnel, community members, law enforcement, fire officials, or others. So this is the newest change that was made. Last year, on January 23rd, 2022, Governor Holcomb signed the ELISA law, Chapter 27 of the law of 2022, Chapter 227, which became effective immediately. Chapter 227 amend Educational Law 2801-A to require that district-wide school safety team of public school consider the usefulness of silent panic alarm system when reviewing and amending district-wide safety plan. The Mount Vernon City School District has installed this panic system at each school building. And for this, I actually have to commend both Mr. Gumandi and Mr. Ramirez. I was a pain to ensure that we met the deadline of having this done before June 30th. Compliance with safety plan. The district-wide safety committee and the chief emergency officer shall be responsible for developing the district-wide material and implementing district-wide protocol in accordance with the safety plan. The principal shall review the district-wide and building level safety plan and verify compliance annually using the district plan as an outline. A copy of the building plan will be provided to central office and the district-wide safety team. So as a district, we've gone further. Before buildings are even allowed to submit, it is reviewed by the district team, suggestions are made. Please also be aware, building level plan are confidential. They are not shared with the public. They are only shared with NYSED and the county police. Okay. However, we have a partnership with the Mount Vernon Police Department, so we share certain aspects of our plan with them. Okay. Finally, I'm going to talk about the command post checklist. So 2 years ago, every building received a go bag. Inside the go bags are the materials they need in case of an emergency. In accordance with the New York State Safe Project legislation, each principal is responsible for developing building level safety plan that incorporate the emergency response protocol, design, and emergency response threat assessment team. Establish a chain of command and a command post in his or her building, and provide for appropriate training for students and staff. This information needs to be reviewed and updated annually with the district chief emergency officer in central office. The command post can be used, does not need to be the principal's office. This location should be supplied with the following item to enable effective communication and rescue coordination: maps, floor plan, etc. In addition, each command post must be able to identify who is the building personnel and student roster, and who may have special need requiring special assistance. The following items need to be available at all times at the designated command posts: list of emergency telephone numbers, police, fire, ambulance, superintendent, and transportation; map, floor plan, schematics; building level emergency plan detailing evacuation site; telephones, battery operated AM, FM radio, weather radios, flashlight or lamp; photocopiers or computer; student rosters, list of students with special need, list of staff with special need; telephone numbers for parents and guardian; information about the emergency. The final pages will require, as of last year, protocol for state disaster involving communicable diseases. For this plan, the entire district is then deemed essential employees, and every position is listed with what they would be doing during an emergency. Appendix A is the detailed online modality in case there is a pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you. I have a question. Would that overall plan be shared with Mount Vernon Police Department?
So as you go through the plan, you will notice the chief of police, the fire department is also included. One of the pages detail, the command page detail who to call in case of an emergency. So we have the deputy commissioner's name in there. We have the fire chief in there. Once, after the 30-day reading period, the public comments at our July meeting, The public has a right to speak and make comments on the public plan. Once it's approved, then we give the final pieces due October 15. A copy will be sent to NYSED, a copy is sent to Westchester County Police, and a copy is given to the Mount Vernon Police Department.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Question, did we take any or receive any suggestions from the Mount Vernon Police Department that we may have implemented, or were they not involved at all?
We do. So 2 years ago, we started the partnership with the police department where they come to these bi-monthly meeting with the police chief, the deputy commissioner, some of their officers. One of the things they suggested that they needed to know our building. So one of the things I added to the plan is both the police department as well as our staff are able to do practice drill. We have planned next year to do a tabletop exercise in case there is a gun threat, a bomb threat. So it was at the suggestion of the police department that we institute. For example, several times this year, while we were off, the police actually ran exercise in our elementary school. Originally, at first, we say, oh, the high school. However, there was very much concern that they were not familiar with our elementary school. So for the past year, every exercise they've done has been at one of the elementary school. The goal eventually will be for us to, at a PD day, to do a full tabletop exercise where the principals are giving a scenario by the police department, and they are supposed to act in accordance to both the building plan and the district plan. So I read it now, it might seem that this is just put together. This entire thing takes a year. As we meet with the police department, they make suggestions, we incorporate it in our plan. So this is actually a living document that we change every year because it has to be continuously reviewed. One of the things we do at our district-wide safety meeting is make suggestions and ideas or things we notice that needs to be in the plan.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
3.4, can I have a motion, authorization to accept a cash gift of $1,000 from the Hector and Phyllis Crosby Hyacinth Foundation, LTD?
Motion. Second.
Questions, concerns, discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose?
Aye.
Oppose? Abstain? Motion carries. President Kerwin?
Okay, before we get into executive session, I would like to just take this moment to thank Trustee Gale for serving as a trustee with us for the last, 3 years? 2 years? I want to thank you for your service, and you will be missed. All your inputs and your financial contribution, it will be missed. And I'd like to thank you again for all your services and all that you have done.
Thank you. Thank you to the board, trustees, Dr. Smith, and the administration. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Can I have a motion to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussing pending litigation, the financial history of a particular person or corporation, and matters leading to the appointment, employment, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation, and to receive legal advice on a pending matter?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. We are in executive session. We will not be returning, no.